Hello, I'm John Watson, Chair of the Panel of Administrators of the Brimbank City Council. As a council, we pride ourselves on being an inclusive organisation, inclusive for the whole of our community. One of the important things that helps us to do that is the existence of the Brimbank Disability Network, a group of people who have come together now for some 6 years to provide comment, advice and feedback to the council as we develop our policies and plans for the community. This film is an initiative of the Brimbank City Council and the Brimbank Disability Network. Its purpose is to tell their story, the story of the work they do and the assistance they provide not just to the council but to the wider Brimbank community. I applaud them for their work and wish them every success.
The biggest plan that that we have by far is inclusion. That's probably the word that's bandied around a lot, but it's just the biggest word of the lot is total inclusion.
I asked if there was any groups run through the council and in regards to disability, and I found there was, and I said, well, can I come along to a meeting? And it sort of snowballed from there.
It's not we just meet and leave. We do have friendships and we do engage with each other in the community.
I got involved with the Disability Network group because I wrote so many letters to the council about disabled issues in the St Albans area. Initially it was more about accessing shops, getting into local stores and stuff, and things weren't wide enough for people with wheelchairs particularly. I'm Renee, I'm the Vice Chair, I'm resident of Brimbank.
I'm Cheryl, I'm a resident and a mother of a child with an intellectual disability.
My name's Linda, I work for Scope Disability Day Service down in St Albans.
I'm Julian Alban, I'm a Policy Officer at the Victorian Equal Opportunity and Human Rights Commission. So I've been invited along to speak. Most of what I'll be doing is speaking about a specific project that the Commission's undertaken, which I mentioned earlier as well, about the accessibility of business premises in Melbourne's CBD.
One of my friends is in a mobility scooter and the EFTPOS machine was over there, so she couldn't reach it. So she had to tell me her PIN code in full peak hour, so anyone could have just grabbed the card off me, ran off.
If you saw someone in a mobility scooter and they couldn't get up the steps or anything like that, most people would say, hey, well that's discrimination because there's no ramp, and they'd try and help the person. Whereas if you can't see the disability, it's harder to pick.
Sometimes inclusion can be hard, especially when you don't see the disability. It's easier for people to perceive and see the disability. So when you see someone in, oh okay, they've got. But when it's an invisible disability like autism, it's a little bit different. Whatever physical, intellectual disability, whatever it is, there's a difference between them sitting at home and not being included in society, whether it's through volunteering and through work opportunities.
He lives for Saturdays because of the football, but he lives for Mondays to be able to go into the MCG and volunteer.
Pretty much, yeah. And now I'm 19, I just pretty much do my own thing. Like if I want to go out, I just tell Mum we're going out to like organise a tattoo, things like that. Yeah.
When I tell them that I work full time, they look at me like, how can you even work at all? Like, it's unbelievable, you know, for them to think that I'm not living on a disability support pension, and I can manage to work and contribute to the community.
After the accident, I was certainly very, very low, and even now after this long, I still have my low periods. And I suppose the biggest strength of the group is not only in the disability field, but that we've also been fortunate enough to generate some magnificent friendships as well. I'm innocent.
The R moment was when we did the safety audits, and the first safety audit we did with the group was in Deer Park. So what we did was we went through the area, had a look at access. A report was written for the council to improve the area, and that I think I felt proud to be a part of.
To me, there's a difference between inclusion and catering. Renee probably had a really good example of where she was invited somewhere, so she was included, but there were a flight of stairs there, so she wasn't actually catered for.
Isn't it? It's great. It's like having a disabled toilet downstairs.
I've learnt more about how the disability system's set up and some of the terminology and things just by being in the group.
Now, for any projects that council's got, we're the first people that they come to.
The benefit is for the whole community.
A person with a disability or a parent with a disability might say, I've got this situation, and then everyone will say, well, have you tried this, or have you considered this, or have you heard of this?
Well, I think it's a great opportunity to actually show inclusiveness, show opportunity, and for individuals, families and everybody that's involved with someone with a disability in any capacity to be engaged. And we're a very successful model, and I agree with Christian that we can duplicate this through other municipalities.
Some people, when they see me, they look like, they think that I am stupid. They think that because I've got a physical impairment, that affects also my brain and my intellectual capacity.
I think probably the most important thing is to get across to people that we're still very capable human beings.
You don't need to put your name to it. You just have to know that you've woken up that day and you have made a difference for people with a disability.